Mr. Speaker, and Cypress Hills. Thank you very much. It is important to hear the word Cypress Hills and grasslands together. Thank you. I just want to ask my colleague a bit of a question as we wrap up here towards the end of this session. This government has basically failed at everything that they've done. When you come to talk about electoral reform, their first, approach to electoral reform was a complete failure. They came with a set agenda, found out from Canadians they didn't want anything to do with that. They backed off on that. In terms of their financial commitments, this government has completely turned its back on the commitments that it made in 2015. The balanced budgets, we've talked a lot about that over the last few days, how these deficits continue to climb and to climb and to climb. You can take a look at the small business community and the attacks on the small business community over the last year. This government, for some reason, has decided they don't like small business people, and of course they refer to them as tax cheats. We talk about the immigration system over the last couple of days and how they've lost control of that as well. And taxpayers are spending over $1 billion now because of an inability to control an immigration system that was in good shape when it was turned over to them. In terms of firearms, community is very upset. We have carbon tax, which is going to add billions of dollars to Canadians' expenses. And then when we come to these bills, we see continually that the bills have to be fixed again and again and again. And I guess I find it ironic that we're at one today that has had so many problems. It's been numerous amendments to it, but the general perception of it is that it gives the Liberals an advantage in this next election. I'm just wondering if he can just tell me, does he think this history of incompetence is something that we should really be discussing as we close out our final hours in this place, that the focus seems to be on the incompetence of the Liberals and their capacity for self-delusion and then for trying to manipulate the system so it works for them.
The honourable member for Portneuf-Jacques-Cartier has 30 seconds. I'd like to thank my colleague for Cypress Hills Grasslands, and I share his questions. I think that the process is speeding up at this point here, and it shows the amateurism, and I insist on that word, the amateurism of this government, which is improvising right, left, and centre. It's going to cost $1.1 billion to bring in this illegal migrants who are crossing at Roxham Road, and it is unacceptable. But what is good is that 2019 is just around the corner. There will be a federal election, and again, Canadians will be able to vote in a truly responsible government.